welcome to another episode of Forgotten People in History. This is a show where we study the forgotten people of history. June was born on July 13, 1875, to Colonel Stephen W. Downey and his wife Evangeline. She lived in Wyoming with her 9 siblings. Her father, Stephen Downey, was important to the political scene in Wyoming, and he would later help found the University of Wyoming. June would later attend the university in 1891. She studied classics and received her Bachelor of Arts in 1895. In 1896, she went for her master's degree at the University of Chicago. There she studied classics and philosophy and psychology. She returned to Wyoming and taught English and philosophy. In 1900, she became the founder of the psychology lab at the University of Wyoming. After receiving her PhD from the University of Chicago, June was appointed professor of both philosophy and psychology at the University of Wyoming. And in 1915, she became the first female head of a department of philosophy and psychology in the United States. June was said to be a very engaging teacher. As much as she loved teaching, she also did research. June became a pioneer in personality research and in the psychology of handwriting. Personality testing was still very new. Psychologists didn't study personality like they do now. Many of the psychologists, like June Downey, would look at physical features to determine personality. An early experiment June Downey did was to get pictures of psychologists, philosophers, and commonplace, good-looking people. And she would let participants rate each picture with 4 different characteristics. She found that people tend to rate psychologists lower on most personality scales. June Downey's most famous contribution to psychology was the Will Temperament scale. In 1910, this experiment started as a muscle reading experiment. The experiment went like this. There were multiple people in groups of 2. One of the people in the groups would be blindfolded, while the other would guide him around. And because of her interest in handwriting, June had many of the guiders write down the directions on a piece of paper. She found that good guides tend to write larger and faster than normal or lesser guides would. She would later find this method of personality testing inaccurate. This is because someone's a little different in temperament during these tests. Instead, June decided to focus on everyday handwriting. One of the things she would find is that strong-willed people tend to write in bolder and heavier font. June stayed with the University of Wyoming until her death in 1932. She is best remembered for writing the school's Almada. She also has a residence hall named after her. June Etta Downey was a very important person in psychology. She was not the first to theorize about personality. However, she is one of the first to actually start testing her theories. There ends our episode on June Etta Downey.